Hello, welcome to my channel. In this episode, I will be reviewing an African violet called Rob's Smarty Pants. It was hybridized by Ralph Robinson and registered with the African Violet Society of America in 1997 under the registration number 8614. I adopted this little plant at my local club, Thousand Oaks African Violet Society, about 3 months ago in September of 2019. Rob's Smarty Pants is a miniature variety. Miniature African violet plants, when fully mature, grow up to 4 inches in diameter across a single crown, from about 4 inches to about 6 inches. But then there are also micro miniatures and super miniatures, as I recently found out. And you can learn more about it from my Rob's Wascally Wabbit African Violet Review. So this particular plant is one of the smallest varieties in my collection at this point. It might grow a little larger because it's still a very young plant at this point. It's about 3 months old since I had adopted it, but still it's very, very small. I'm trying to get the leaves, the small leaves, straightened up so they can grow. I was very careful about caring about miniature varieties, and I was hesitant at first as a new grower. I was really timid with dealing with them because they are very small and delicate, and I was afraid that I might break a leaf or break a bloom stalk, and I still have that extra caution when I plant miniatures. When I brought it home, it was I forgot the kind of pot it was. I think it was in a square pot, so I had to repot it into a round pot. And I think I chose this one at first, and I thought, oh, this is a 2 1/4 inch pot. It might work just well. Maybe it will grow, larger in it. And let me tell you, it didn't do well. It started losing leaves, and it started having all sorts of sickly looking leaves. And I was like, oh, okay, this is not happening. So I abandoned this idea, and instead of a 2 1/2 inch, I chose the 2 inch, the smallest size pot that I had at home. And after I repotted it, it was growing the roots first, and then it when it became snug in the pot, it started blooming. So I thought, okay, I might have done something right this time, because I know that violets like to be in smaller pot sizes to grow in them, so that they can fill the entire pot with their roots first, and then they start blooming. The rosette on this variety is about 3 1/2 inches at this point, 3 1/2 inches across. The leaves are medium green, glossy, wavy, and serrated. They are very, very small. We can compare a leaf to a dime coin, so you can see how small the leaves are on this variety. They are very pretty, and the flowers are even prettier because they're very cute. They are semi-double white ruffled stars with blue-speckled pink edge. So they have all sorts of colors in them. They have mostly, in my conditions though, I don't see much white in them. They're mostly light pink, and some blue sprinkles all around, and some of them even have like blue fantasy here. This one is almost it's an older flower, so you can see the drier center in the middle, but this one has interesting blue fantasy. So I think they're very cute and very special, and certainly I will keep this one in my collection because of how cute it is. And there's more blooms coming out, so I think it's like in the current conditions. Here they are. Yeah, so that's one of my smallest African violets at this point. I grow it under a combination of LED and natural light from the west facing window with the temperatures between 65 and 79 Fahrenheit and the humidity around 50%. I grow it on a wick, and you can you probably saw my other videos where I discuss how I wick them. This particular wick is made out of just one strand of a 4-ply yarn, and let me show you the yarn. So people were asking what kind of yarn I use for wicking. So it's just a regular 4-ply yarn. You can see how intimidatingly large this ball of yarn is in comparison to this my miniature violet. But basically what I do, I soak them in warm water with some dish soap, and then once they're soaked, they can be easily split into separate strands. And so for miniatures, I use only 1 out of 4 strands here. So I split it into 2 first, and then you see how it splits easily. And when they're soaked, they split. The yarn splits even easier than this. And then I split them again. And so this particular wick is just made out of this 1/4 of the entire thread. So I hope that makes sense. And I use regular water that I let stand to reach room temperature, and use very weak dosage of fertilizer. I currently use the Dyna-Gro Pro, or Dyna-Gro, yeah, Dyna-Gro. This one, 795, and I use 1/4 teaspoon per gallon of water. And so the fertilizer is constantly added to the wicking liquid. So here it is again, Rob's Smarty Pants by Ralph Robinson. I hope you enjoyed this little beauty. I certainly love it, and I plan on keeping it in my collection. This is my local club's adoptee, and I grow a few of them, and this is one of my favorites. Thank you all so very much for watching. If you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And I will see you again on the next episode of my African Violet reviews.